Mom and Dad had secret Maui wedding without me. Am I the asshole for sharing our family truth online? Be me. A 17-year-old female. Need to share something that's eating me inside, even if nobody's listening. Feel both furious and heartbroken at the same time. Have to get this off my chest. Parents have been together for 23 years. Never actually got married though. Dad, 52, finally proposed to Mom, 47, on their anniversary. They always celebrated on a special date, the day Mom found out she was pregnant with my older sister. They were already together before that. Everyone was overjoyed when they announced it, including me. This happened back in October. They immediately jumped into wedding planning, decided on having a small ceremony in Maui. Just closest family and friends. Wanted something intimate and special. Mom instantly asked my sister, 24F, to be her maid of honor. Dad picked my brother, 21M, as his groomsman. Wasn't surprised or hurt by their choices. At least that's what I told myself. Sister has always been Mom's favorite. They spend all their time together, shopping at fancy boutiques, getting their nails done, going to wine tastings, having these special brunches just for them. Dad and brother are exactly the same, always working on their vintage motorcycles. Watching baseball games together, Dad even coached my brother's soccer team, back in middle school days. That always left me as the odd one out. Tried so hard to be part of their little groups. Always got pushed away though. Maybe they could sense I wasn't really into their hobbies, or maybe they just didn't want me there. Used to being the least important one by now. Mom has her perfect daughter. Dad has his perfect son. They have each other. My siblings are super close too. Closer to each other than they ever were to me. Left me feeling so lonely. In my own home, like a stranger in my own family. During the wedding preparation, things got worse. They initially suggested I be the flower girl. My sister immediately shot that down. Said her daughter, 3F, would be more suitable. That idea disappeared faster than morning dew. My maternal grandma tried to help. Suggested I could read a poem during ceremony, or maybe give a brief speech. Both parents refused immediately. We want the wedding to be low-key. Don't need any cheesy and sappy speech. Those were their exact words. Still tried to be okay with everything, even though it hurt like hell, being the only family member with no role at all. As the special day got closer, parents and siblings became more obsessed with planning. Started noticing more and more things. Mom never invited me to dress shopping, not even once. Always left out when they discussed the venue or any other wedding details. Decided to wait and see. Maybe they'd realize I wasn't involved at all. Kept quiet. Waited for them to ask me something. Anything about the wedding? But that never happened. Wedding was set for end of July. Day before departure, Mom casually asks, "Is your luggage ready?" We can't be late to the airport. Tell her bluntly I haven't packed anything. She gets confused for a second, then starts snapping at me. Ask her if I even have a ticket. Her face goes completely pale. They hadn't even bought me a ticket. Not sure if I even had a room booked, or any accommodations once there. I'm the only person in family without stable income, just working as part-time dog walker. Yet they bought first-class tickets for my siblings, and couple of their friends attending wedding, but completely forgot about me. Mom tells me not to make big deal out of it. We can find you a low-cost ticket. Maybe on a budget airline. That's when I ask about my dress. She went shopping with sis months ago. Bought dresses for all female guests, but I wasn't included. Dad walks in during this conversation. Tells me to just suck it up. You've never been a girly girl anyway. Just wear whatever you have. Get really mad at this point. Not even about being feminine or not. It's about being excluded from everything. For months. We all get into huge fight. They start calling me entitled, accuse me of making myself small on purpose. Say I did this so they would forget me. Like that's actually a valid excuse. For ignoring your own child. They end up telling me, if I'm going to keep this attitude, maybe I should skip the whole thing. Respond with defiant, fine. Go to my room. Next morning, they all leave for Maui. Without me. Ceremony was really small. They still posted tons of pictures, all over Instagram and Facebook, about how perfect and magical that week was. People started noticing I wasn't in any photos. Asked my parents why. They told everyone I caught COVID before the trip. Had to stay behind. That was the last straw. My blood was literally boiling. Don't know why this lie pushed me over the edge, but it did. Decided to take a COVID test right then. Published picture of myself holding negative result. Caption. Not sick at all, just forgotten. Tagged everyone who asked about my absence. Every single person invited to wedding too. Added comments explaining everything. How my parents forgot about me until day before leaving. How they didn't even buy me a ticket. How they actually uninvited me in the end. Most people were supportive. Others couldn't believe it. Kept saying there must be more to story. One thing was certain though. Completely ruined their perfect wedding narrative. Their magical day got overshadowed by my confession. At first felt satisfied. Finally stood up for myself. Then messages started pouring in. Family calling me every name and book. When they came back, it got worse. They attacked me furiously, called my actions immature, said I was showing spoiled behavior. My pride deflated quickly, started feeling awful. Hate my family. Hate being in this house. Can't leave yet, though. Still a minor. Starting to second-guess everything. Maybe should have spoken up earlier. Maybe handled it differently. Maybe exposed them another way. Feel guilty about lack of connection with family. Wonder if I could have done more. Maybe tried harder to fit in, even though they always pushed me away. Now stuck here questioning everything. Every choice I made, from staying quiet before, to the way I exposed them, living with consequences. Still not sure if I did right thing, but can't take it back now. Grandma wasn't able to attend the wedding. Lives in another state. Traveling is hard for her. Has mobility issues. We only see her when visiting Mom's hometown. She saw my social media post, though. Called to check on me. Put on brave face for her. Haven't called since. We still text, though. Don't know if she knows full story, or if parents told her different version. She's always been sweet to me. Always called out my parents on their favoritism. Feel exhausted lately. Don't want to burden her more. Haven't called since that first time. Right after the wedding. Extended family wasn't there either. Uncles live in same town as Grandma. Weren't invited. When parents bought tickets, it was just for siblings. They're significant others. My niece. Couple of friends, each with partners. About 13 people total. No idea why they ignore me so much. Only explanation I can think of. They're super close-knit among themselves. I just don't fit in. Never liked same hobbies. I'm quite introverted. Enjoy being at home. Watching movies. Reading books. Meanwhile, parents love being life of party. Always hosting events at our house. For their friends, siblings enjoy these events too. Was more shy as kid. Always hid in bedroom or basement. To avoid people. Grew up and started participating more. In these parties, parents still don't seem to care. That's only explanation I can find. Still feels like it's not enough reason. Some people suggested I might be a fair child. Never crossed my mind before. Parents always seemed close. Spend lots of time together. Look happy. Don't think mom would cheat. First-class tickets for wedding party. And other guests. But not their youngest child. How is that even possible? Then they suggest economy ticket. Because it's cheaper. No dress either. Just wear whatever. Now somehow it's my fault that they're thoughtless. When mom mentioned cheaper airline, it was because their flight was all booked. Never mentioned accommodations. They all stayed at Ceremony Hotel. That's all I know. Update on everything that's happened. Wanted to write this earlier. Still kind of mess right now. Can barely find energy to get out of bed. Family's comments made me believe that I was guilty for everything. Few days ago received overwhelming support. Made me feel somewhat reassured about my actions and feelings. Still fighting guilt and depression, but trying to stay strong. Finally decided to call Grandma. Tell her full story. She didn't attend wedding. Lives several states away. Has mobility issues. Doesn't travel anymore. Last visited her around Easter. That's when she suggested poem reading. Last time saw her in person. She's always been loving to me. Called out my parents in past. For their favoritism. Hard for her to be more involved. Lives too far away. Always worried about bothering her. Due to her age and health. Had minor stroke few years back. She's okay now. Still worry though. Called her anyway. Explained everything. About wedding. How parents didn't buy ticket. She immediately said, impossible, they just forgot. Must have done it on purpose. Cried on phone with her. Told her how this been going on forever. How I feel now. Most importantly about needing to get out. She was extremely sweet. Comforting. Told me not to worry anymore. Has my back 100%. Said to take it easy. Make plans for future. She'd help me. Conversation lasted about 2 hours. Felt better afterward. Decided to listen to her. Start figuring something out. For next school year, have friend going to lease studio near our future campus. She has great relationship with parents, but has 5 younger siblings. Wants more independence. Asked if could move in temporarily. Would pay rent once got job. She immediately accepted. Told me not to worry about rent or anything else until in better position. Had good cry together. When told her about wedding incident. This all happened couple days ago. Was planning to update then, but Grandma called my parents and siblings to lecture them about treating me badly. Brother sent text afterward. Half-hearted apology. Said he didn't know I wasn't included. Thought I wouldn't have fun on trip. Posted just to create drama. Sister had different reaction. Berated me completely. Said I keep trying to make public my own issues. Pin them on family. When they're all innocent. Been weird with parents since they came back from trip. First they berated me. Were furious. After Grandma's call, came into my room. Said if I wanted to put this to rest, should shut up about it. Could have blown over already, if only kept my mouth shut. Just asked them to leave room. Called Grandma again. Tell her what happened. She then told me she and my uncle bought plane tickets, coming down to see me. Actually scared about this. Grandma's health isn't best. Know how complicated it is for her to get on plane. Tried to stop her from coming. Told her everything would be okay. She wouldn't listen. Said she was overdue for conversation with my parents. Wanted to see me. Stressed about her coming. Feel like forced her to take long, uncomfortable trip. Because of me. Should have dealt with this myself. Want nothing more than to hug her. But worried about her. At least uncle, mom's older brother. Coming with her. They arrive tomorrow. Haven't told parents about visit. Grandma asked to keep it quiet. Until she gets here, hope she can make parents see their mistakes, or at least help me tell them. Planning to move out soon. Going no contact with them. Don't know what to do. Worried about her doing so much. For me, but appreciate and love her more than anything. For being there for me. Grandma arrived early Monday morning. With uncle at airport. Went to pick them up. Moment I saw her. Ran straight to her arms. Broke down sobbing. Couldn't even speak properly. Had so many things to say. Thank you for coming. For being good to me. For having my back. Sorry to make you take this trip. Feel awful at home. Don't know if parents love me. No, you do though. Hit with all emotions at once. Plus guilt and anxiety. When saw her, she held me tight. Told me everything would be okay. Uncle hugged us both. Don't know how long stayed like that. Must have been until uncle said we should get going. Took cab to their hotel. Grandma had teary eyes. Could feel her breathing heavily. Scared me, but she kept hugging. Smiling whole way. Reserved double room, so I could stay with her. Once settled in, when I was calmer, we sat down. I told them everything. Years of neglect, emotional abuse, feeling miserable after trip, and for years before. How parents trying to make me feel guilty about everything that happened. How scared about future. But priority is moving out, even if affects schoolwork. Told about arrangements with friend. Looking for job. Told them about online post. How some people thought, might be a fair child. Beginning to question that myself. Was a lot to unload. Could tell they were affected by what I was saying, but kept comforting me, making me feel safe to open up to them. After sharing all concerns, Grandma reassured me. Nothing to worry about anymore. She'd always be there. First told me not a fair child. Parents were thrilled. When mom got pregnant with me, ultimate deal breaker for mom was cheating. Believed same for dad. Favoritism began showing. When I was around 3, 4 years old, parents constantly complained about having young kid in house. Bothered because could take older siblings to activities. But not me. I was very shy. Bit of crybaby. They had no patience. Made me different from siblings. Told me parents saved enough for my college. They're really well off. Never been concerned until now. Thinking they might pull funds. But if they tried not to pay, she would take care of it. Wouldn't let me drop out due to money problems. Grandma offered to help with rent and allowance for moving out. Was very generous. Thanked her for everything. But mentioned something important. This experience opened my eyes. Never realized how privileged I've been. Economically all my life. Despite their faults, parents pampered me with money. Went to private school. Had large monthly allowance. Own card for years. Never objected to my expenses. Seeing other stories. Realized how good I've had it. Being dependent on them. Made me exposed to losing everything. Want to be independent now. Not just from parents. From everyone. Need to learn to stand alone. Makes me feel like spoiled brat. Reading about people in truly awful situations. Grandma insisted I accept her help until no longer needed it. I agreed, but still want to look for job. Try to manage on my own. We relaxed at hotel, all exhausted from morning. In afternoon took cab to my house. Parents extremely surprised. Seeing grandma and uncle with me. Before they could say anything, grandma told me pack essentials. While they talked, rushed upstairs. Could hear grandma and uncle berating parents for everything they put me through. At first, parents tried defending themselves. Eventually quieted down. Came downstairs with 2 suitcases and backpack full of important stuff. They were all in living room. Father was beet red, mother sobbing like child. When she saw me, extended arms towards me, saying she was sorry. Just said, save it, in coldest tone possible. Dad said I didn't have to be jerk. Both grandma and uncle told him to shut up. Left house right then. Waited for cab outside. At hotel, grandma reassured me. Wouldn't have to go back. They told her college tuition was never in question. Parents planned throw me. Extravagant birthday party. To make up for wedding mess, going to give me car as apology. For everything. Grandma having none of that. Obviously trying save face. Coming up with things on fly. Party and car wouldn't make up. For everything they put me through. Moment that broke my mother was when she learned I questioned paternity. Started crying then. Grandma told her straight up. given how they excluded me repeatedly from all family events since childhood. What else could they expect? Grandma said she'd ensure they made payments to my school unless I preferred to cut ties completely, have her pay until I could pay myself. Asked her to do exactly that. Felt bad because it's not her responsibility. Truly don't want anything else from parents. Although Grandma pretty well off herself, not as wealthy as my parents. She reassured me everything is fine. Money would be taken from Mom's inheritance. Next day went to see Studio, where planning to move. Went with my friend, her parents, and Grandma. Moment we arrived. Grandma said absolutely not. Knew from pictures Studio was very small and pretty dirty, but seeing it in person was much worse. Water damage and mold in bathroom. And kitchenette? Rust on all old appliances. Was aware of all this beforehand. Figured could live with it, at least for a while. But adults pointed out something. That made me and friend change minds. Studio at street level. In really bad neighborhood? Building didn't seem safe at all. Had bullet holes in walls. Didn't even notice them. Until friend's dad pointed them out. Grandma and friend's parents said they would look for apartment. In better location? Help cover costs. Both friend and I want independence, but we recognize truth. With our likely minimum wage jobs, in such high demand area, won't manage find anything better alone. New plan is search for 2-bedroom. Friend and I will pay what planned for Studio, while her parents and Grandma will cover difference. Know it's still spoiled of me to expect help from Grandma, but after seeing Studio in person, truly wouldn't have felt safe there. Friend's parents, who knew somewhat what I was going through, offered me to move in with them until we find nice apartment. Extremely grateful since Grandma. Going back in a couple of days. Been staying in hotel with her since then. Apparently friend, her parents, and Grandma talked about this before approaching me to ensure I had safe place to stay. Until we found apartment. Started crying when they told me, seeing how people rallying behind me to offer help. Been moving rest of my stuff from parents' house, setting up space at friends. Mom keeps crying and apologizing. Each time I go back, even father has said sorry. But I remain distant and cold. Sister called to say our mother was a mess, that I was being a dick about what I had done. Hung up before she finished. Blocked her number immediately. Was going to block brother too, but saw he sent very long message, apologizing again and again for all he had done to me, for not realizing parents treated me poorly. Says been doing a lot of self-reflection since Grandma's call. Realized been wrong for assuming I wasn't on trip because didn't want to go. For allowing parents to exclude me all those years. Sent brief reply to brother. Thanked him for his words, but told him needs space. Not ready to accept his apology. Feel like he might be genuine. Never been nasty to me, like sister has. Just been aloof towards me, but also feel need to keep him away, at least for now. Keeping one bridge with family feels right thing to do. While everything's so fresh, maybe in future, he'll show true colors. Be nasty like everyone else, then I'd block him too. But as long as he respects boundaries, feel better not cutting him off completely. Made appointment with therapist. Specializes in neglected teens. Have first preliminary visit next week. Funded by Grandma. Makes me even more eager to find job ASAP, take burden off her, even though she keeps telling me she's happy to do all this. Time and time again. That's where things stand right now. Don't know if I'll update again. Maybe when start classes, or move to apartment. Right now, just trying to enjoy some time with Grandma and Uncle. Learn to grow. Get rid of these feelings of guilt and depression. That been plaguing me so long. Want to thank everyone who has helped me. All who shared personal stories of getting kicked out, having to learn, make it on own. At too early age, helped me feel less alone. Made me realize things can get better. If work hard for them, feel kind of spoiled. Having such amazing support system. With Grandma, Uncle, and friend, but reaching out has been absolute best decision. Opening up about feelings to those who love me has really saved me. More grateful than words can tell. People keep asking what parents say. When I go back for my things, mother cries every single time. Just repeats, I'm sorry, over and over. Haven't had real conversation with her. Haven't given her chance either. Father mostly silent. Stares at me whenever I come and go. When he apologized, was more like sorry for everything rather than mentioning specific wrongdoing. Don't know if they're in shock from everything happening. Feel overwhelmed myself. Haven't had time to process it. Or maybe they don't think they've done anything wrong. Just acting for Grandma's sake? Can't really tell myself. Others warned me about college money. Said not to cut off nose to spite face. Parents should foot that bill in full. Shouldn't burden myself with expense. When they can afford it, least they can do. But Grandma already told me, unacceptable for me not to go college. If reason is parents won't pay. She won't allow student loans either. Asked if she would co-sign. She flat out said no. Would pay herself? rather than see me stressed about financial aspect. Won't jeopardize education for parents, since have option of grandma paying. That's what I'll do. Rather money not come from parents. Knowing them, they would dangle this fact. Rest of my life, like I owed them. Very lucky grandma will handle this. Feel like don't deserve her? Some say I shouldn't feel guilty. About coming from well-off family. Started feeling more guilty than angry. About my background? How blind I've been to all my privileges. Only discovered this self-awareness in last couple weeks when first fought with parents. Barely thought about money or how to sustain myself. That's always been given, which is nice considering not yet 18, but seeing messages from people who struggled with financial problems, from being neglected or cutting out family or going out into world at very young age made me realize how out of touch with reality I really was. Angry for others who haven't had same privileges. Angry at myself for being so carefree about money and privileges most people don't have. Want to stay self-aware, to thank people helping me, appreciate what they're giving, in future want to be independent. Also aware how hard it is for people who didn't grow up in 5-bedroom house, in expensive neighborhood, with private school, and all other gifts I've had. Been a while since last update. Sorry didn't respond sooner. Been very busy lately. Also trying to distance myself from everything that happened, but back with update. If anyone interested, after grandma visited, moved to friend's house, we stood up against parents. Grandma and uncle left. Few days after last update, very emotional moment. First time in life, felt protected and loved by someone in family. Sure, there were moments before when didn't feel so down and alone, but that week with grandma, truly felt someone in my corner, unconditionally, forever grateful to her for being there. After she went back home, settled into friend's parents' house. While looking for apartment, friend already working as private tutor for young kids, helped me get same job. Job is great. Salary quite nice for first job. Thrilled to be hired. We found apartment too, near campus. 2 bedrooms, nice living area and kitchen. Not big but clean. In neighborhood, mostly college students. Quite nice area. Plenty cool spaces to hang out and meet people. Actually just moving in right now. Writing this from new bedroom. Celebrated 18th birthday. Couple weeks ago. Went to restaurant with friends. Had nice time. Only drama with parents. Since whole debacle, they showed up at friend's home. On my birthday, asking to see me. Wasn't there at time. Friend's dad was though. Told me they were apologetic. Asked him to contact me. Left letter saying, acknowledge being awful parents. Want to rectify mistakes? Begged me to talk. Maybe I'm cold. But decided not to answer. Asked friend's dad. Tell them to leave if show up again. He respected that. Part of me wanted to go. Try mend relationship. But felt like took all this effort just to show them I exist. Show how much they hurt me. If go back now, would be betraying myself. All work put into growing. Becoming independent person. After birthday had couple weeks. Before could move to new apartment. Went to visit grandma at her house. Showed her many pictures of new apartment. Told her about new job. About classes starting after New Year. She was so happy for me. Had family gathering there. To celebrate my birthday too. Uncles and cousins came. Had bit of party at grandma's. Brother came too. Been slowly talking more with him. Of all immediate family. Only one never treated me badly. Although he was neglectful. Enjoyed parents' favoritism. Never treated me poorly. Feel like he was also victim of toxic environment in our house. Don't trust him fully, but he apologized very sincerely. Since he lives near me, wants me to feel I can rely on him. If ever need anything, do feel safer knowing. Have at least one family member in my city who cares. Would help if needed. Asked him once how parents doing. Said since I left, he limited contact with them. Blames them for entire situation. While sister insists I'm being selfish. Causing pain to parents. Because I'm the problem. Not sure how that works. Parents seem somewhat ostracized by many friends. After news got out, according to brother, they constantly ask about me. Now telling anyone who listens, they messed up. Don't blame me for my actions. Want to rectify mistakes? Don't buy this act though. Feel like they know. Best thing for their reputation is to try put ball in my court regarding reconciliation. So they can seem like done their part. Now more focused than ever on my future. Don't want to think about them. Going to therapy. Trying to grow. Embrace love of new support system. My friend, her family, my grandma, uncles and cousins, maybe my brother. Hope this will be last update. Want to close this chapter. If ever back, probably means something happened. Wanted to share good news. With everyone who helped, you truly saved my life. In desperate moment, was so down those days. After wedding, felt like curling up in bed, trying to disappear. You all helped me pull through. Face the music. Now so much happier than ever thought possible. Looking forward to all wonderful things happening in my life. Thank you all.